We're still scheduled. And we're live, I think.
We
Hello,
are live.
Chris.
I decide we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. How are you, humanitechers?
Humanitechers. That's a good word.
How are you, Tomas?
I am doing well, thank you very much. As per usual, busy week. I think this Thursday is always like a crazy, almost the new peak of the week. Everything like builds up, and then it's Thursday, and it's like,
Yeah, but
all right.
this week's been special, and we'll get into it on this product webinar of Humanitech in a second. We have some teasers for you. We do have this product webinar weekly, as many of you now know. We go through a little bit about the company, what's happening in the industry. Most importantly, we go through the product and the features and what we're doing. And getting back to this week, Tomas, it's been a big week for us at Humanitech, where I think there's 2-3 things which we can touch upon beyond sort of the industry updates, which I know you have some updates for us. But first of all, Norway is in the World Cup, the Football World Cup, and Slovenia missed it by a small margin. But
Yeah,
and I'll
rub
let you
it
talk
in.
about that. But the big thing we have is that Humanitech is about to sign and onboard with some major athletes that are going to the US, Canada, and Mexico to play in the World Cup, to use the Humanitech Guardian to protect their identity, not only while they're in the World Cup, but their family and their brand, and beyond the World Cup, of course. So we have worked very hard on this, and Humanitech is also going to be part of the World Cup in that sense, and you should expect us to onboard and make some announcements on some big football stars joining our platform. So that's very exciting.
It is, yeah. And I think it's like a very important role also to play when it comes to athletes' image online and the identity. That obviously is some like they're quite a honeypot with the communities they have for some of the more wrongdoers to target them. So yeah, I'm excited that the Guardian can play a role there.
They are a honeypot, right? And they have huge fan bases, and of course the fans are the targets of impersonations and fakes and and fake news. So not only protecting the high profile users or the athletes and their families there, but it's actually also all about protecting the fans and the users of these platforms.
Yeah, correct. Definitely a also a timely thing coming up with the World Cup and heightened focus on everything that's going on with those major stars. So
yeah, so that's one thing that happened this week, or we're making major progress on. The other thing is on the product side, which I'll tease a little bit about as well, which is we won't talk too much about when it comes to the feature or going through the demo today, but I will say that the issue of deepfakes is it's always been concerning us from the very beginning, finding deepfakes and identifying what is a deepfake, right? Whether it's an image or whether it's video. And maybe the flip side of that as well is verifying what is actually an original piece of digital asset, or original image or video. In other words, what is not a deepfake. And here we're also integrating a fantastic new tool, which we hope will be ready in a matter of days or a week or so, really providing a very cutting edge tool in the Guardian agent to authenticate or verify and certificate actually what is a AI manipulated or AI generated video or image. Maybe you can tease us a little bit there on the timeline and what you see from this feature that is coming.
Yeah, I think it's context is king right? And if you don't, if you're not able to build that context, you're missing out on being able to understand what you're looking at, and it's becoming so hard to just use our naked eye or our kind of human capabilities to discern what the context of a piece of media or a photo or video or whatever it is that we're consuming. Is it true? Is it not? Like, how altered has it been? And the new tools that we're bringing to Guardian, they're giving Guardian the capability to build that context out, to say, you know what, this is X% likely to be generated by artificial intelligence, or there's a mismatch of voice and an image that we're seeing here, or these types of tampering we can actually start detecting, and they are a huge boost to the context of different materials that the Guardian is interfacing. So I think it's a very timely addition, and yeah, it's not also solely limited to maybe the use cases that we've been seeing Guardian operate in so far, but really extends the usability of Guardian as this almost trust infrastructure layer across multiple different types of industries, where being able to say that paired with everything else that Guardian is doing already just brings unprecedented capabilities to those professionals. I'm tiptoeing around.
You have some Gartner research there. Maybe you want to bring that up, but
that's actually a really good idea.
Yeah. Of course, I think the Gartner research, which we'll talk about and show you now, pertains mainly to the demand for governments or state institutions to verify what is a deepfake and what is not a deepfake. But this applies to enterprises, big and small, families, content creators, individuals, teenagers. Now you have a tool to provide, very strong certification or authorization, authenticity around a digital asset, be it an image or a video. And this is, there you go.
Yeah.
Gartner predicts 40% of government organizations will establish trust ops to counter deepfake threats by 2028. Well, I think this is already coming, right? And I guess the subtitle here is the key thing, right? Government needs to move from reactive checking what is already out there and is in the hands of users, to having a proactive trust architecture to verify what is actually authentic and what is fake.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think like this is exactly the point where Guardian comes into play. And it's just the combination of the capabilities that it has. It allows it to be a very, very strong tool against such disinformation as a service attempt that we're seeing being flooded online. So yeah, I think it's a matter of kind of almost hygienic level of protection, it seems, right? So that's suggested by Gartner here, that this is becoming like the hygienic, like 40% becomes an industry standard, right? Where there's 40%, there's also a bigger number, because that's it's over the hump in terms of how you're protecting yourself. And if this becomes the way that we're operating, we need an infrastructural solution to it. This is no longer just a setting or one like a feature that you would do on one organization or the other. We need an architectural approach to it, and I'm very confident that Guardian will be a very important piece in this puzzle that's building out around the AI safety infrastructure.
Yeah, well done, Gartner. Good research there and some predictions that we agree with. And of course, we as a company, as Humanitech, we're in, if anyone is listening in here, we are interested to work with the Gartners or companies that have tons of small, medium, large-size enterprises that need this tool, and governments, of course. So our go-to-market strategy to cover that a little bit would very much be to partner with companies that could provide this kind of infrastructure, Humanitec's infrastructure, to their client base. So just putting that out there. If you do have questions or suggestions, there's a comment section here in the webinar. If you do have any questions to Tomáš and me, drop it in the studio chat, and then we can try to address them. Today, Tomáš, I think you're going to do a quick demo of a very high-profile user that many of you will know from the financial hedge fund industry, and maybe we can tie this in a little bit with both the widening net of data detection, which I know you will cover in the ability to plug in any URL, any harmful finding into the agent, which dramatically widens the net of evidence storage, the capabilities also of taking things down. And then we can handle a little bit more around the deepfake identification as we go through the product.
Yeah, for sure. So let me then just fire up my screen share so that you will see. As Chris suggested, we're going to be looking at the account of Ray Dalio. And for those of you who maybe are joining in for the first time, at Humanitec, we have a product called Humanitec Guardian that is an AI agent, which we have given a task to protect an individual or an organization online. And in this case, we're talking about Ray Dalio. So what this agent does...
So much when you say agent, I'm assuming most people know that, but what is an agent? Can you just quickly define that?
Yeah, sure. So it's what we consider this type of an agentic or an agent is that it's an AI system that can act autonomously. So with some degree of autonomy, right? And that's why what I say when we give the task to the agent is that we create these objectives, and then we we give the agent the tools, we give it access to relevant type of capabilities that it can tap into, and then orchestrate its work to achieve those objectives, which in this case are: is there anything harmful about Ray Dalio online, and how can you bring that to my attention, and can you help me remove it? So everything I do on the dashboard here is actually an agent action underneath, and just because we kind of have this dashboard view, it doesn't mean we're confined by it. As a matter of fact, if I go here, you will see that we also have two connections with our messaging apps, or messaging services enabled, which is Telegram and WhatsApp. And everything that we do through here, we can also do through a conversation with the agent from these message apps directly on your phone. So you don't have to necessarily log into the
user interface. You can go through the Humanitec Guardian browser interface like you do through ChatGPT, so you can talk to the agent there, or you can chat with the agent through WhatsApp or Telegram or these messenger platforms. So it's like talking to your trust and safety agent about your digital identity.
Correct. And this will especially come in handy.
Sorry, I'm asking stupid questions now. This is the agentic. When we say Humanitec is an AI company, this is part of what we mean, right? It's an AI agent, but is there a model underlying the agent, or is it a bot, or like what is the AI components here of talking to the Guardian agent?
That's a terrific question, because the way that Guardian is operating is by using something that's called a neurosymbolic AI approach. And that's an important distinction, because it means that we do not solely rely on any particular model to be the magic stick to figure something out, but rather we use models in conjunction or together with knowledge graphs, which are this symbolic part. And this is very important because when we're talking about huge amounts of content that we're sifting through, it would be very, very easy for an agent that would rely solely on a model to start hallucinating or start like messing these different content types together and making it hard to having a hard time to discern what is what. But because we have this knowledge graph, which is based on Origin Trail's decentralized knowledge graph technology, which right now is coming up on version 10. So anyone that's interested in that part of updates, definitely a very, very opportune timing to keep tabs on what's happening in the Origin Trail ecosystem. The way Humanitech is leveraging this infrastructure is that we build these forensic content graphs on decentralized knowledge graph, and then we connect it to models basically, so that we can have like the neural networks and symbolic system that eliminates any hallucinations and allows for very high performance when it comes to like achieving these objectives that we set out the agent to do. So yeah, it is a bit special, let's say, this agent. It's not that generic as you would maybe assume from something that you just fire up.
But thanks for explaining that. I think it's important, and maybe we'll cover that on a different product webinar, but it's the AI agentic layer, it's the knowledge layer, which is the decentralized knowledge graph, the Origin Trail infrastructure, and then it's the trust layer attached to that. And of course, this is something that you in particular and our team has been working with for over 10 years. So very robust underlying technology there. So correct. Now the agent has looked at Ray Dalio and come up with a risk score of 88. What does that mean?
The risk score is one number to indicate what's the situation out there. And 88 would, as the text underneath also says, it would suggest that it's quite like opportune timing to get involved and figure some things out and try to get rid of some of the threats that are out there about you, your likeness, your name. And actually, we can check some of those threats out as well. As I open it, you will see that they're categorized across 3 different buckets. One is the fake accounts, something we're seeing happen a lot. The fake accounts are just getting easier and easier to make, and they're like a pest. It's very they're popping up a lot, and it's something that you have to be very proactive at trying to remove, because they can be also very dangerous from the perspective of, we were talking before also, footballers communities, or in this case Ray Dalio's community is targeted via these fake accounts to either extract financial means, to extract data, or to just create a havoc, basically, to the name of the person that they're trying to replicate. Some of them might be more, let's say, easygoing as a fan account, but all of them are worth keeping tabs on. Then the second part that we have here, which maybe we can also click on and go a bit deeper in, is social media content. So this is where you would have all the content associated with the name of Ray Dalio and his likeness that has been flagged as harmful. It appears here. And actually, it goes over multiple platforms: X, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Reddit. And then it flares up here, basically.
I think you added Facebook since last week. I didn't see Facebook in last week.
Facebook is new, and also for the similar accounts, you will have them here as well. So that's good, because for some individuals, Facebook is quite a big like surface, attack surface, especially on the fake accounts. It's where people are more trusty to, when someone's reaching out.
You can say it's my age group, and we're very trustworthy.
Yeah,
if not naive. So I think that's a great addition.
It's a good addition. We're getting more now, like the 4chans and the on-boards, which are like usually more where some of this material starts to get produced before it jumps to mainstream platforms. But broadly, you would have like these things, raised, and then you decide whether you want to mark them safe or evidence, right? So if you put them into evidence, it means that you want to keep tabs on it, either keep it for future or immediately start being actioning on it and taking it down. but we'll see how that looks after. But yeah, like we can put a couple of those into evidence.
And the identity, I know maybe it's a little early, but the integration of the deepfake detection technology here, are you anticipating? Obviously, this is not going to be across all potential threats identified. It's going to be on, you find this post, you don't like it, now you want to check whether it's AI manipulated or AI generated or not. And is this where you then anticipate that you identify the post and you run it through the agent to essentially certificate if it's 0% AI generated or 97% or 100% AI generated?
So it would be basically at the level of the evidence, evidence pack, that you then decide, okay, I flagged something as harmful, and now I also want to make sure, like I want to get a certificate or I want to get a reading of whether that is deepfake or not, and then that would be something that gets added into the evidence pack, and you're basically able also, the same way as you're able to get them. PDF of the entire evidence pack, you could also get basically a PDF of like verifying that something is how likely something is.
That's great. Let's look a little bit at the current evidence packs that you have here.
Yeah, so we've clicked through a few of them, that we went through before, like harmful posts that we've put here, and like the thing that we can do now here is just everything that's here. It's like a proof of something bad happened, and even if that perpetrator or like that infringement gets deleted or taken down, you still have these evidence packs as a proof of this taking place, which could be very important if you want to escalate things further after something has been removed. For example, with law enforcement on the courts for damages or anything else, or even if you want to just keep it for I don't know, a year, because there might be a reoccurrence of something like that, then you want to connect the dots at a later stage. This is your forensic evidence that you can keep, and you can do this at scale as well. So depending on your profile, you will have a little or a lot of evidence packs, and almost regardless of that, it's useful to have evidence pack, but at scale, it's the only way for you to actually keep things organized and handled. Now, once you've done the evidence pack, and let's say you've also, now this deepfake integration will also be here, and you'll be able to launch another PDF for you that will verify if something is deepfake or not. You will then you are able also to request something to be taken down, which you can do by two ways. The first way is that you can ask agent to help you, and you do it yourself. So that is the agent kind of figuring out everything from the evidence pack and the platform's instructions, and then it will create all the instructions of what you need to do to request the takedown. This is a bit more cumbersome and a bit more slower. The other option is that you basically request an automated takedown, and then by confirming it here, boom, I have now submitted it. And this is now meaning that Humanitech agent as well as Humanitech team are taking a closer look at this, and they will try to get it down as soon as possible. So from submitted to reviewed, and then different types of additional actions are taken, from cease and desist to directly working with the connections with the platforms to make sure that this particular post gets removed. So we make the best case possible for the user towards the platform for this piece of content not to exist. Of course, Humanitech Guardian is not the executioner, it's not the censor. It will not, there's no guarantees of something getting removed if it's not harmful or if it's not violating the terms. Of course, it will not. The freedom of speech still applies as well. But if there is something that crosses the line, Humanitech Guardian will give you the best possible chance to have it removed as soon as possible. And
to pause you there a little bit, it's that is great, and that's the way it should be. But of course, if you are also just uncomfortable with something which is really not libelous or it's not a breach of any copyright, you can still request it to be taken down, right? And possibly by providing whatever backup arguments or evidence pack that you can present to the platforms, you could also be successful taking things down that you just find uncomfortable,
annoying. Yeah.
But we are not arbitrating on truth there. It's up to the user, the Guardian user, to request takedown and to provide the evidence, the Guardian Humanitech Guardian evidence, and then the decision relies entirely with the platforms, right? But we're not going to tell you to not try to take down things that are just a little uncomfortable, right? You might quite likely be successful.
Yeah. So exactly. So the decision is with the user and with the platform at the end of the day to action it. There was this other thing that we wanted to touch base on today, and that is a case of this button that we have here, which we haven't, I think, showcased before. And that is the capability to actually add, like you said, maybe something that you're finding online is uncomfortable to you and you would like to request it to be removed. But it hasn't been previously flagged by Guardian, so you didn't see it in the potential.
So this is something that a friend sends you, or
exactly.
You find it yourself surfing around, or your family is uncomfortable with something, or a colleague in a different division sends you something. Have you seen this? And then they give you the link to the
let's
post,
say that,
right?
I'm now doing a search on X for Ray Dalio, and there's like, I don't know, we obviously will take just an example. Okay, like this one looks, something that we would like to, let's say, potentially remove. And now I will copy this link. And if I go back to the Guardian's interface, what I can do through here is now use this as a way to import this into the evidence pack. And now basically agent does what it otherwise does as it's preparing the threads. It goes, it picks up all the metadata around it, it structures the graph around it. So it does all the work basically that you would otherwise have automated. And this now, it was something that we've done it by demand. And the same way of how it would be from a thread, it has also now been added here as an evidence pack, which means that we can start the automated takedown process here as well. And
yeah, well, you can just store it, right? Because if that post later goes away or someone takes it down, how do you prove
that
without
it was there?
Any tampering to a platform or a court, or in any case, that this post existed or this account existed, and here it is?
Yeah, and you could also do the PDF generation, of course, as you would with in other cases. So I think that's a very, very cool addition.
Yeah, it's a very cool addition. It's like, it just widens the net, right? And the ability to store evidence at scale, because there are companies doing detection here and detection there. I think the big competitive advantage we have is not only on well, obviously we're leaders on the agentic layer, but it's on the decentralized knowledge graph and the knowledge and the truth layer, the trust layer, where we can store posts and accounts at scale, whether it's one account or one post or there's no, sky's the limit here. This is where we are probably more a data company than an AI company in handling threats at scale. And then it's your decision whether you want to act on those threats in terms of taking them down now or 3 years from now.
Yep. And now if you pair that also with what we talked about in beginning, this could be as easily done as you sending a link to a WhatsApp message to the agent, and then this gets added into evidence pack, and you can request it to be taken down. So yes. I think like this is quite a strong addition to.
But that is a very strong product feature, the copy paste in of URLs, and also I guess it trains the agent, does it not, in terms of
of course
where this found, who's the owner of this account. Maybe you want to double click on that a little bit, because this is not a static algorithm. It's it's a learning machine.
Yeah, I'll say, I mean, we said it in the beginning, that context is king, and it's the same here. We are building context about you as a user as well. What is important for you, what is not important for you, is equally relevant for the agent's actions. And this is how the agent then discerns what to float, what to not. Because you got to know there's a lot of content. Like, it's really a lot. Like the numbers here are super high in terms of what
that's why this feature is so important, right? Because the agent will do its work, right? But it's not going to be able to catch everything. And now you have a home. I guess teams, like social media teams, they find things, they're being sent things. Fans are complaining, sending in, I'm not sure this is you, or is it somebody else impersonating you? Can you take a look at this link? Now just drop those links into the agent, and the agent will deal with it, both in terms of finding similar things, in terms of storing evidence, and if you want to take down this crap, you now can do it in one place.
Yeah.
And by the way, since we're talking about takedown, I was on a call earlier this week with you where someone asked, and by the way, as we're heading towards the end maybe of this week's product seminar or webinar, if you do have any questions, drop it in the comment section. I see, Victoria, you had a question, but I'm not sure it came out fully. It says the letter P. But what I was going to ask here is automated takedowns, like completely, because now you're the user. You, Tomasz, you're initiating the takedown. But on this other call I was on with you, the question was, can you set it so that, let's say, threat levels above 90, I just want that to go away. Just automatically put it into takedown. Obviously, that has a commercial consequence, and we need to talk later about the business model here. How does this work for users? But where are you seeing the product heading in terms of fully automated takedowns?
Yeah, I think like there's an element of this context building around the user, that as more context is available and the agent becomes more precise, this is definitely something that's a possible outcome, because we get like increasing smaller false false positives, right? That are coming in, and then once you have this signal to noise ratio flashed out to the point where you're very confident, well, what comes above 90 is so the agent understands the user so much that it's there. The automation is the logical next step, and then you're able to just say to the agent, look, if it comes in and you see it with like high enough confidence, you're okay to action it. And that said, we have always full explainability and full like the transparency of the traces that the agent has done that led to something being actioned. So there's no black box kind of, hands up and let the chips fall where they may. But we always have the auditability of how Guardian performed certain functions, so that we can always also point to why and which user decision was the root for a certain action to be taken. Because of course you cannot just be doing it in a random way. So everything ties back to the user.
Yeah, and of course, human in the loop will probably remain, but full automation is the way forward here. And coming back to a little bit where we started, as we're now launching the Humanitec Guardian AI agent with some very large athletes and football players, we'll be developing the product with them. As they're using the product, they will help us introduce new features, new ways of looking at things. So, what we're discussing now, it's probably also important to say it's one of the first, if not the first version of the AI agent. The underlying technology, as you touched upon, the decentralized knowledge graph, the Origin Trail. DKG is in its 10th version now, so that is we've worked on for probably more than 10 years. But both the underlying technology and the product will keep developing pretty quickly. And if you have, dear audience, if you have ideas on this, if you see things we should be working on, just lean in, reach out to us, and we're happy to work with you on that. I would say, maybe from a collaboration point of view, our philosophy is perhaps being more of a system technology integrator. If there are better detection technologies out there, if there are better encryption technologies out there, we'll be very happy to partner with the leader in the field. We're not thinking we should be sitting here developing everything in-house.
Yeah. If you can help us build context around the things that we were discussing right now, that you can help us enrich it with the tools that you have available, we're always very, very keen to have that conversation and then see how you can contribute to it. And yeah, like Chris said, we've have a growing record of new tools, new approaches, new sources that we're adding to improve the context of Guardian, and so that it can do its job better and better and better.
That's great. Well, we are a Swiss company based and registered out of Zug in Switzerland. We have huge backing from Europe, especially from our shareholder base, but we have investors and shareholders from Singapore to Middle East, and of course a huge backing from New York, Boston, Phoenix, Arizona, and not least in Silicon Valley and San Francisco. So we're looking for partners in all of the above locations, and looking to develop both the product and the company with you. Yeah, Tomáš, any final thoughts on the product or the company, or what to expect in this week?
I think we covered quite a bit of ground. So yeah, and you gave out quite nice teasers, I'll say also. So I'm excited to see how all of it comes to fruition. And yeah, that we'll be going into both the World Cup and many other things, with Guardian being an important part of it. So
yeah, no, look, we're looking for go-to-market partners, so high-profile users.
Yep.
Eventually, all what you see here is also available for retail. So we are, whether you're a teenager or you're a family, you're a single individual user, or you're a small business, this works for all of the above, right? This is a problem for families and big institutions and governments, as we have seen. So we are looking for go-to-market collaborators in that. Right now, we're focused on very high-profile users. We're working with many of them, and we're also very focused on the US market, of course. But with our global shareholder base, we like to hear from you wherever you are. And with that, I think we will round it off. Tomáš?
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. It was great to digitally hang out with you in the last half an hour or so. We'll be back next week, so make sure you follow Humanitech, follow OT, follow Chris, follow me, everyone. You got to follow everything.
Yeah, it's not so important to follow me, but follow Tomáš and Humanitech and OT.
Oh, Chris.
You'll be good. So stay safe, stay trustworthy, and we will see you next week. Thank you.
Bye-bye.